Hey, what's up? I'm talking about Darkest Route, a graphic novel created by Antwone Barnes with art done by Kip Henderson and Omar Montoya. Darkest Route is a fantasy horror comic that follows Nate Castleheart, a young fine art student who works at a warehouse outside of school. At the beginning of the book, we learn that Nate is taking a break from school, due at least in part to the loss of his brother Johnny. Nate's life is abruptly changed after accidentally dropping a set of drawers at his job, like his warehouse job, and discovering a strange ring in like the remnants of the drawers, like a dresser. I should mention that Nate is fired from his warehouse job in this issue as well, so conveniently loses all connections to kind of the outside world aside from his friends who we briefly meet in the comic. Nate's situation further spirals with the introduction of Antwone.
This is my graphic novel character, Antwone, the fallen angel from my graphic novel series, Darkest Route.
Antwone, a fallen angel turned exorcist for hire. Antwone informs Nate that the ring he found is an ancient relic tied to a secretive organization of monster hunters called the Knights of the Relic. Sorry if my voice is cracking a bunch. Antwone wants the ring from Nate, but it's made clear that the ring has tied itself to him. He's like not able to take it off. Kind of like a Red Lantern ring, I guess. Although not really. Hopefully it won't kill him when they finally get it off. That would be bad. Also, this is so random. I just realized Nate has a glowing sword on the cover that we don't see in the comic. So maybe that's tied into the ring. I'm really not sure, like a Green Lantern sort of construct thing. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't know why. The Lanterns trailer just dropped, so I feel like that's where my brain is, unfortunately. But yeah. Anyway, what ensues in the first issue is the guys working together to stop a creature that wishes to get rid of both of them, presumably in order to get the ring. Nate's brought into a crash course of secret organizations and the supernatural world he was never aware of, including an interdimensional trip between worlds. After narrowly defeating the beast that had been tracking them, Nate and Antwone set out to find aid for their cause. They need people that can help them figure out why the ring has affixed itself to Nate and how to stop whatever has been chasing them. People that they can trust, and Antwone has at least one person in mind. Looking at the website for Darkest Route, we can see a few other notable characters, but I won't be going too in-depth for any of them since I'm really only talking about issue 1 and we're really only exposed to Nate and Antwone in the first issue. Issue 2 is in development and you can purchase a 25-page preview right now on their website. Again, I won't be going into it. You can go ahead and buy the 25-page preview if you'd like, but that's spoilers. That issue isn't out yet. It just wouldn't feel right to cover it. Okay, so now that you have a rough idea of the story, what are my thoughts and feelings on issue 1 of Darkest Route? And what do I think the series feels like it could be heading towards as a whole? Personally, I found Darkest Route to be a fun adventure. It's like edgy fun, you know, a little bit of horror. I'm also kind of a sucker for any time that supernatural elements or fantastical elements are tied into real world religions. I just personally think it's fun. Barnes and his team have created an interesting setting that, in my opinion, feels a bit Arthurian in influence, maybe. Darkest Route also reminds me of comics like Hellboy or Kahn-stuhn-teen. It's pretty hard not to like Nate. He's a regular underdog who has never had life hold back its punches, with the artifact being the last straw in a completely unraveling world around him. This is also clearly a personal project. Barnes began working on Darkest Route after losing his brother and dad, so Nate's loss of Johnny is a pretty clear reference to his personal situation. I find that pretty cool personally. I'm kind of a sucker for when projects clearly mean something and like a piece of the artist's heart is in it, and I feel like looking at the website and what's going on with the comic, it definitely feels that way. That doesn't mean that everything in Darkest Route is perfect to me though. I'm not sure where to put it in the video, but when looking through the website, I did see that the book has 2 Native American characters, at least one of whom is a shapeshifter, but the characters are known as the clandestine Nightpaw tribe. I was a teenage girl when Twilight came out, so I feel like I'm just preemptively jumping the gun. I honestly shouldn't judge anything about anything until they're introduced properly to the story and we get a feel of their characters. I'm also not anyone that can really judge that.
I think you're talking about a Native American like Mark.
Yeah, but I'm not a werewolf because I'm Native American.
That's right.
All right, it's not an ethnic thing.
I don't have grounds to stand on when talking about representation, so yeah. Just mentioning it, but I think that there's a lot of things that I really enjoy, and again, I shouldn't preemptively judge anything with a book until I have it in my hands and I can read it and look at it. I will say I've enjoyed the art of Darkest Route. It has kind of an old school, gritty vibe to it that I thought was a lot of fun and matched the tone really well. Characters at time can look maybe a little off model, especially with like Ardoin's hair. In regards to what I liked about the art, I really enjoy the heavy use of thick lines for the characters, as well as the use of contrast with the black on the page helps direct your eye, and characters do have recognizable attire that makes it easy to find them on the page. Like Nate has his red cast and his red hat that I think works really well in making him an easily recognizable character. You can definitely get a sense of that Mike Mignola influence for stuff like Hellboy or The Amazing Screw-On Head, and the rich contrast with the black inks and more muted colors creates a really cool visual and some really strong silhouettes. The more esoteric stuff is also fun and works visually very well. I am really excited to see how they implement real world religion or folklore or what have you into their comic verse. Yeah, everything about this comic seems cool. I could see it doing really well, so I wish the best for the creators, and I'm excited to see issue 2 whenever it comes out. If you can't tell, I'm rushing through this and I apologize, but I've tried to record it a few times, so thought I would sit down and do it while I had time this morning. That's really all I have to say about Darkest Route. I've been meaning to make this video, so I'm working off a script that I wrote a while ago. Maybe a little wishy-washy or something, and I apologize for that. But I wanted to make this video and get it out because I remember really enjoying it at the time. And yeah, let me know if you end up checking out Darkest Route. I'll put a link to the creator's stuff down below so you can go see it and buy and read it if you're so inclined. But thanks for checking out the video. If you want to see more on my channel, I talk a lot about comics. Feel free to check out my channel, subscribe if you're so inclined, and until next time, have a good night. Bye.